I've been... Alright, well, I'm recording again. Yeah, but I've been having trouble with OBS, so I've stopped using the goat for now. I plan on going back to it, but... I just am using this in the interim for the purpose of, ease. Alright, so I'll drop this down.
Herpes?
Yes. Herp ease.
I'm putting way too much effort into this.
Yeah. I think we're both putting way too much effort into this.
As is my custom.
Yes. Alright. And I'll have to find some other interesting conglomerations. Alright.
What else can I do with this?
So I've decided after all these years I'm going to try and learn... I mentioned
Macrame?
it. No, I actually know how to do that.
Of course.
Because Angel, she, crochets, and they're very similar in a way that they aren't, but in my mind, they seem it.
Pouvez du crochet avec moi, Francois?
Yes, knit a chicken with me, Frank.
I prefer the translation where it's Francis, but
Yeah.
your mileage may vary.
Yes. Your language may vary. Alright. Just keep throwing this single block on the ground. Oh god, a wall. More appear in the middle of a wall again.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Why are there so many doors appearing in this area? I didn't even undo... whatever. Throw one here. Yeah, but after all these years, I finally decided to sit down and learn electronics. Because it's something that I think I'd probably be reasonably good at wrapping my head around.
Perhaps.
Saying, well, there's a lot of... This is probably going to create a very small, funny-smelling explosion if I do this wrong. And I like small, funny-smelling explosions.
That's what she said?
Quite probably. But, there's... Let's see. If I'm right, then this could be fun. And I'm not sure I want to use that. I need a... This. No, that's one I've already used. No, but, see, ages and ages ago, a friend of mine left an incredibly handy little contraption here. Which is, oh God, it was a Knight Electronics mini lab. And what it actually is it's a little machine used for teaching you how electronics work. By allowing you to do things like conduct circuits in create circuits in an entirely safe, environment where you can't really kill yourself no matter how hard you try. Unless...
Oh, I'm sure you can beat that.
I mean, unless there's, like, a way that you could reach in and remove one of the very, very large, dangerous-looking components inside of the device, which is also possible.
Huh, how did I do that?
That's either a good sound or a good question or a bad question.
I'm inside a wall.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure why.
Well. If this were... Okay, so that's there. How large is that? I think I can make that fit. If I don't, or if I can't, it'll still be interesting. So let me try. A little bit of overhang is fine. Actually, I want that back farther. So let me... But anyway, now I'm kind of tracking down some of the various tools I would need. Including, dear God, I'm trying to track down an oscilloscope, which is...
Not an easy thing.
No, it's not...
I could swear my grandfather had an oscilloscope in his garage.
I found it, like, super, super cheap. This is sort of what you need models.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, and if his one A existed and B was still around, that'd be one from like the 50s.
That's actually not even a issue because it all.
Oh, I know.
I know the funny thing about them is we have like two of them, but
They don't work.
no, they do work. It's just we have absolutely no way to set them and calibrate them.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to be able to calibrate them, and you need a set signal that, you know, you can be sure that the device is actually generating properly.
Mm-hmm.
Or is reading it properly. We have nothing that can actually do that. So the Night Mini Lab thing actually has a feature for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. In order to use it, or for that, I need an oscilloscope to make the sure that the really brain really all right, undo, rotate 90. Come on, no, but I need an oscilloscope to learn how to be able to set the mini lab so that I can make it generate a signal so that I can set an oscilloscope. I mean, I know there's actually supposedly very simple ways you can do it using like a 9-volt battery and a couple resistors.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe I have that level of technical know-how.
Oh, sure you do.
I'm not going to risk it with a, you know, very nice old piece of equipment. But
I mean, how many times in your life have you looked at a 9-volt battery?
way more than is probably healthy.
You definitely have the technical skills necessary.
I'm going to learn how this worked, even though it didn't turn out the way I expected. It's going to be interesting. But, no, but, it's one of those things I've, since, you know, even though I've mostly given up the vaping now, mostly I say, in that I have none with nicotine in it and haven't had any nicotine in several weeks.
How you doing with that?
I'm doing my absolute level best not to explode at people.
Okay.
I mean, it is, you know, nicotine withdrawal is not fun.
No. Well, no kind of withdrawal is fun, really.
No.
Nicotine's kind of harsher than most.
But it's for the best. I know it's going to be healthier for me in the long run. I know that it'll actually help with a lot of things like circulation and blah, 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 and that's perfectly fine. And it doesn't mean it doesn't make me really crabby.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be a damn adult and, you know, give up the deadly habit. Because, you know, adult. I've been trying to adult for ages.
Well, maybe one day.
Yeah. But, yeah, mostly it's just the, you know, like, it comes in random fits. Like, not even like I'm annoyed all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, someone online says something relatively stupid, or even not relatively stupid, just slightly stupid. I'm like, well, maybe the world or your life wouldn't be so bad if you were dead. So, like, where'd that come from? Like, I won't post
See,
that.
like, at least when you have those impulses, you have something to blame for it.
Yeah.
When I have those impulses, I just have to face the fact that, yeah, I'm kind of a bad person.
Oh, I'm definitely a bad person as well. It's just that, you know, I try.
To be a bad person?
Well, no, I generally speaking try to be a good person because, you know, sometimes that's what you gotta do. But probably gonna be silly ways. Well, actually, I could,
CJ, the problem with this is that, going back to the mountain structuring, like, your method of just slamming things together for fun and experimentation, I can't do that. That doesn't really compute with my brain. So once I run out of ideas, I'm kind of useless.
Well, I have an idea that should work. Why don't you just find buildings and put them down at random, and then I will cram things to it.
Well, there's too much work to really be random.
Well, you put them down where you feel buildings could go.
Well, that's everywhere, Jay.
Well, then randomly smatter buildings about, and I will come and I will inject other buildings into them.
Sounds terrible when you say it like that.
Yes, it does.
Although I do have an idea pursuant to that approach.
So,
I wonder if I can make this work.
let me see if I can make this work. So, I need to... Okay, alright, I need to find out what position this is in. So, paste. Alright, so I'm at that corner of that, so... Negative 90. There we go. Alright, so... Alright, let's see how I can do this. This is an interesting looking house now, actually.
Alright.
You know, how far is that into that wall? Might be a little too far into that wall. If it's more than one block, then I don't like... Alright, I can just change this wall back to, those. I don't want to give the villagers hope if they see, like, a house sticking in the wall.
Hmm.
We do have just the one single window that shows into here, though. Somewhere around here.
Okay, let's give this a try.
But anyway, so yeah, learning electronics seems like a fun way to spend time. And the reason I started looking into that is because someone pointed out to me there's a very interesting thing about it, which I had not previously considered it as a hobby, because I thought it was the opposite. It is a remarkably cheap hobby to get into. Because it's like, oh, I need this resistor, you know, like a 500 ohm resistor. Well, I could order one for 3 cents or a bag of 500 of them for $2. Because it's usually cheaper just to buy the parts in bulk. So it's one of those, well, I might as well learn the hobby that, you know, the other thing about it is, of course, you can, after you get some skill about it, build your own toys to keep yourself preoccupied. Let's see. There's a good place to wedge. 90. Alright, and actually, let me rotate that back. Rotate negative 90, not equals 90. Rotate negative equals.
Isn't that like dividing by 0?
Probably. There, I like that. The sound of a villager dying somewhere. I like that as well.
That's the best sound they can make.
Mm-hmm. But let's see. I'm looking around to see. I don't want to wedge too many of similar buildings into too many similar structures. Oh, that could be interesting right there. All right, what position is that in? Okay, no. Because it kind of needs a door on this side, so that would be acceptable. Oh, well, I didn't even realize it hadn't grabbed that wall of that building. That's alright. I know how to handle that. So, rotate 90. Not negative 90. Well, let's check and see how that looks, actually. Nope. Alright, so. Undo. Rotate 180. Alright. There we go. So.
Sure does rain a lot.
It does. This must be what it's like to live in... I don't know.
Seattle?
Oh, that's a better one. I was gonna say Steve Jobs.
I hear it's kind of dead there now, though.
Yeah.
Yep, I went there.
Well, let's face it, either of us would have. Alright, there we go. I like this. Now. It's not bad looking either. There, that needs something there. Let's go look for another building. Or a combination of which strikes my fancy at the moment. That's a good place to call this episode anyway, so I will